3 for 15 in my office was a hell of a tuition payment for a lesson that could have been learned for free by just paying attention and being honest with ourselves, hiring slowly and firing quickly. Attention chiropractors, slayers of subluxation, unleashers of the imprisoned impulse, and protectors of the developing brain. Welcome to the Cranial Doc Podcast, where we master the work that actually changes lives. Craniopathy, nervous system-based care, and the business systems that let you scale without selling your soul. I'm Dr. Anthony Pellegrino, pediatric chiropractor, certified craniopath, and proud automation geek. Let's dive in. Good morning, subluxation slayers. I am back from my paternity leave. You don't know that because I continue to do this kind of stuff from home and I had stuff scheduled ahead of time, but I'm back in my office on a little bit of a abridged schedule. And while I was on paternity leave, about a week and a half in, looking at the stats, get an urgent message from my office manager and my main associate, my head doc, Dr. Allie, and she was basically saying, hey, we went 3 for 15 on reported findings in the last week and a half. So that's not good. And we typically convert at a significantly higher dip than that suddenly falling off a cliff. And we had no idea. So whenever there's an issue, whenever we go back to the drawing board, the question is always, is this a people problem, a process problem, a systems problem? Like, what's the deal here? And the same people that were always doing everything did it. We used the exact same system. And so everything was running in itself. So it was like, all right, cool, maybe this is a training problem. We went back and we did training. Dr. Allie's report was exactly the way that it always was. The CA who does almost every single consultation was nailing it. We made some changes in how we were doing, like the exam and communicating. I had one of my fresher docs doing a lot of that. And we said, hey, just temporarily, why don't we just step back, have somebody with a little more experience do this, just because like this is a really, really, really expensive lesson to learn. But overall, nothing was really off. And we kind of were sitting back and we're like, what the hell is happening? And then on like a Friday or Saturday or something, I forget what it is, I get a text from my office manager and it says, hey, person who does our consults just quit. I'm like, sweet, great. So I'm supposed to be on paternity leave. We've done all this work to train and be ready for me to be gone. And now like our main person who does almost every single consultation quits. And immediately we had this like, oh shit moment of what we're going to do. And then basically I had this like realization was that the person who's doing almost all of our consultations, who trains great, nails everything, script perfect, every mannerism during training is perfect, never said a word, was silently disgruntled. She never complained. I literally was like, I have no idea. She just was disconnected. And of course, that patient is going to feel it, even though everything that she's doing is technically right. So of course we switch it up. We have another team member doing all this. And the good news is that our conversion rate, boom, popped right up back to where it was. So we're having this audit of a conversation, right? And myself, my office manager, and my head doc being like, what happened here? Like, decompress. What are the signs that we missed? And Dr. Allie really noticed something. We have a very mission, vision, culture forward office. If you're doing like wellness-based chiropractic care, principal chiropractic, whatever you call it, like you probably have a really high mission. And I have CAs who have been with me for years and years and years. And the big thing that Dr. Allie noticed was that most of my CAs, like they will threaten, like they will chain the doctors to the table if they try to leave without adjusting the CAs. Like all my CAs, I've been on like a 3 to 4 day a week adjustment for the last 7 years, right? Because they just love it so much. And we're like, hey, you don't need to get adjusted today. They're like, I'm laying down. You can check me. Like we're getting checked. I've been at a desk all day. I've been dealing with you all day. Like I'm getting checked. And that is what most of my CAs are like, which is awesome. And if you don't have that, like, oh, you should really audit that. But this person was always like running out the door. And that, like, oh, did she get checked today? Like, oh no, she was in a rush. And like we looked at her, we're like, she never actually did like corrective care. Like maybe she got checked like every other week, maybe when it was like convenient, but it just wasn't a priority for her. And that's okay. Like in all different types of businesses, like that might be something that's okay. They show in, they clock out, they work really hard, they train really hard. Like I had no issues with her work ethic, who she is as a person. Like I really loved her. But if in our office, in our profession, if they don't buy into the mission, and again, we know it's not for everybody, like the body heals from the inside out, don't take medication, don't eat McDonald's, like all this different stuff. Like it's very counterculture. And if they don't buy in, if they're not all in, it just leaks into everything that they touch. If they're running your evaluations, your retention suffers and your churn goes up. If you're doing day ones like me, your conversion is going to drop. If they're doing your consults, your parents are going to feel the difference between conviction and compliance. The words can be identical, but the energy, the confidence, the belief behind them truly changes everything. Again, this is not about blaming a person. She is a great person. I genuinely liked her a lot, do like her a lot. It's about being honest about what mission alignment actually looks like in our practice. Are your core values actually written on a wall? Do they actually filter who stays and who goes? So look at your team right now, okay? And this is something we've talked about for prepping for quarterly meetings in the past and on one of our workshop episodes. But look at your core values. Look at not just the core values of like how we run our business, excellence, blah, 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 but like the mission of chiropractic, inside out healing. Look at your team and look at all of those different values, all the different things that are important to you in your office, and what the avatar patient in your office believes, right? And look and see what your team members embody that. As a leader, your job is to either inspire them to get on the bus or help them get off. Both of those are acts of leadership. Both of those are acts of kindness. Keeping someone who's fine, who's good, who dots the I's and crosses the T's, but is not convicted is more expensive than the discomfort of having the conversation. 3 for $15 in my office was a hell of a tuition payment for a lesson that could have been learned for free by just paying attention and being honest with ourselves, hiring slowly and firing quickly. So most hiring processes, when we look at this, we are screening for competence, skills, experience, availability, personality. Do they want a desk job? Do they want to be up and around and running? Are they healthy? Do they have good energy? Are they bubbly? While we can look for all those different things on a piece of paper, almost no one is screening for mission alignment, health consciousness, or the propensity to buy in. We were hiring for someone who would do a good job. The personality traits for somebody who is going to be doing consultations is somebody who can listen really well, be empathetic, all of that. But what I've realized is that we really need to be hiring for someone who we think would live by our principles. So what we did was we rewrote all of our hiring ads to lead with mission and vision and core values, which is what we always had, but we had to put health first language too. Avatar for a new patient in my office is a mid-30s mom who does natural health care for their family, who doesn't take medication, and who is actively seeking their family to grow up in a healthy, natural way. So what we started to do was write the language so that that avatar would show up. Now, honestly, if we're going to be real, my office hours and what I need from a person, I'm not going to be able to hire my avatar as a patient because our hours are really good for catering to families, which kind of means that if you have a family that you are like running, then it makes it really hard to be able to work in our office. Just putting that out there attracts the right person. So we had specific language shifts. Instead of saying that we're looking for a team player, we're saying something like we are looking for somebody who is obsessed with and embodies healing from the inside out, or natural health care. We made it clear without saying it, this is a practice where the team gets adjusted. This is one of your perks for you and for your immediate family. This is a practice where we believe in what we do. There are stakes at the table. Our goal is to repel the wrong people before they ever apply. Then we move into our interview missions that really reveal mission alignment versus just interview polish. So we could have questions like, how do you define health? Of course, we have to pay attention to how we word things to make sure we're not being discriminatory. But for you, what does taking care of yourself look like? What is self-care? What would make you leave a job if the pay was good? What would you make you stay at a job if the pay was bad, right? And we have red flags and green flags in how our candidates talk about health, purpose, and team culture. What we're looking for is if this person is going to be the right fit, not just within our team, but if they're going to be embodied and excited to tell people about our mission. And unfortunately, and fortunately at the same time, even somebody who had everything right on paper still might not be the right fit. And we have to tease out the ways to be able to figure that out. So how we onboard really does put mission from day one. At 90 days, the question we have to ask ourselves is, are they running out the door or are they begging to get adjusted? We have to make mission alignment part of our regular check-ins with our team, not just hiring. Our team should want to be a patient. They should be excited about it. If they are off, if they jump on maternity leave, they should be banging on the doors to still get checked and adjusted. The employee who checks every box but isn't on the mission will cost you more than the one who's rough around the edges but bleeds your values. So look at your team. Look at your hiring process. Look at your ads. Are you filtering for competence or are you filtering for convictions? Because only one of those will convert patients. If this episode hit for you, punched you in the gut, I know some of you guys are like, cool, I got this. Some of you guys are like, shoot, Angela, she's got to go. Shoot me a DM at the Cranial Doc or reply to the email, any of the emails that you get from me at thecranialdoc.com email series, which you should definitely be on listening to this, and tell me that you loved seeing this topic. I promise you, just saying it out loud changes how you handle it. And this episode really is more of a reflection and important thing for me to say out loud as an external processor. So thank you for being here while I work out all of these problems publicly and as we grow together. Can't wait to see you at the next episode. Thank you for listening to another episode of the Cranial Doc podcast. I hope you got a ton of value out of today's episode. And if you did, it would mean the world to me if you jumped over to iTunes or your favorite podcast player of choice and subscribed, rated, reviewed, and shared this episode with a friend that you know could benefit. We have a ton of this information and more in our free email series at thecranialdoc.com. So go ahead and jump on there, subscribe, and get me raw, unfiltered in your inbox every week, changing your practice. Can't wait to see you for the next episode.